Okay, we're going to finish up this assignment by adding some internal links, and we're going to do that by adding some anchors and some tags that will allow us to jump from one spot to the next. You see this in some web pages where they use an index, or they have perhaps something that's broken up into ABCs, and then you can click on a spot in your page. Sometimes you don't even realize it, but you're on the same page when you click on something, and it just kind of drops you down to maybe the bottom of the page or something like that. So for this, we're going to be adding some anchors, and I'll show you how to do that. So we've got our almost finished assignment here, where I've added some formatting, some colors, and everything else that needs to be there except for our links. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you a couple of ways here. If you actually select here, what we're going to do is we're going to be adding a back to top link after each one of these paragraphs or topics. So I'll go ahead and just type that in, back to top. And I could do just one and then copy and paste that after I've added the link. So it's really up to you. I can go through again and just add them where I want them. And maybe I want this to be to the right. Oops, nope, that would have to be in a div by itself so that I could place it over here. So I'll just leave it here for now. I don't want to complicate things. We will be diving into having different divs inside of this later on. But let's go ahead and just add it here. So back to top, back to top, back to top, again after each topic. And it looks like I've only got my 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm actually missing my Vermeer. Interesting. I'll have to go back and add that in there. Back to top. But just for purposes of this demonstration, I won't need to do that right now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be using the Properties tab down here, or the Properties panel. And you could do this two ways. You can actually double click or triple click so that it highlights the whole top area there. Or you could set that just at the front here. Either way, you're going to be in that one style, H1. You'll notice that if I click over in my code view, it highlights that automatically, where I don't have to triple click to highlight everything. So just highlighting on this H1. Or again, that's going to put me back into the H1 area. Now, down in your properties, where you want to focus in on is the ID. So again, this is only going to be for one object. The ID only pertains to one element on your page. So for ID, I'm going to keep it simple. Oops, and I'm just going to type in top. And you want to remember what you name these, so you might want to write them down. And you want to keep them short. You want to, again, use lower case letters, and keep from using any funky key strokes or any special characters. You want to just, again, keep it simple, lowercase, and short. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Now for each one of these, I'm going to add an ID for each one of my topics and headings. So for heading 2 here, I'm just going to remove that and add, and I could just type in his whole name, Rafael. For this one, I've moved down to Diego Velasquez. And again, down in the ID, I want to type in Diego. And again, I'll kind of do the same here, picking the easiest word that I'll remember out of that topic. I'm going to type in Vincent here. And then I could even use just the Van, his middle name there, or middle last name. And it looks like I've got them all in there. I can double check by just clicking on these and making sure that in the ID down in this area, I have an ID for each one of my headings. There's Diego, Sandro, and Van. Okay, so the next step is, again, just creating those links. So what we want to do is you can start by highlighting where you want that link to be and where it's going to be associated. So Raphael, I want that to click over into the Raphael area. So I want that to jump to this area. So I'm going to highlight Raphael in my unordered list here. And I'm going to, in the link area, add a hashtag, which is a holder placement for a link. So every time you maybe don't have a link, but you know there's something going to be there as a link, you can add that as a placeholder. But in this case, the hashtag is going to be followed by the name of what I wanted to go to. In this case, I named my ID Raphael. So I want hashtag Raphael at the bottom there. You'll see that a link is created. Same as for this one, I want that to jump over to this Diego area. And again, if you forget what the name of it is, you can always click there, see your ID there. You could even copy it if you need to. Double click where I want the link to go, and then use a hashtag, and I'll Control V that I just copied, and that'll place the link. Hit enter. Next one I don't have one for, but I can put in one. I can add it here. Third one down. I don't know where my information went, but let's just add it. And I'll make that an H2. And maybe add some Lauren Ipson here. Or maybe even just copy some of this for now. All right. I'm going to go ahead and add an ID here. I name this Vermeer. And then add my back to top. All right, so now I've got that. That would have bothered me. So here we go, Johannes Vermeer, and I'm going to type in Vermeer here because I've created my ID there. All right. Highlight my last two in the link area, hashtag Sandro, enter. The last one, Vincent, down in the link in the properties, hashtag Van, and that should be good. Now I've got to do my ID for the top, and I named that top for the ID. You can name that top 5, whatever, but you don't want to, again, have any spaces or anything of that nature. You want to use an underscore or something like that. But again, keeping it simple is going to really help you to remember what they are and not cause any confusion. So I'm going to have top there, so everywhere that it says back to top, I'll highlight and type in top. Now a little hint here, if I highlight the next back to top and I hit this down arrow in the link area, you'll see that it kind of remembers all the links that I've used. So I can just select top there, Again, drop down, select the top. Again, if I just select the code P, it will highlight the whole paragraph there. Or you can just click and drag and select it, whatever is easier for you. You'll find that in Dreamweaver there's multiple ways to do one thing. So there's various menus and that you can find in various locations. Again, back to top there, and I'm done. Now, what I did notice in my sources here is that this link here is an actual link, but it's not an active link. So if I want that to be an active link, what I can do is I can highlight that, and I can Control or Command copy, Control or Command C, and then paste it down in the link area, and that will activate that link. So if it comes where you have the actual address, but it's not an active link, again, just highlight that, Command and Control copy, and then paste it down in the link area, and then hit enter. Okay, so now all we need to do is file save this, or Control S, and then let's preview it that one last time to make sure that our links are working. Here is our page, and you'll see that it jumps to Raphael. If I go back to top, it'll show me the top area of this. If I click on Vincent van Gogh, it goes down to that. Now if you notice, if I make this smaller, well, it's not making it responsive right now because I did set a certain size to this. But again, it'll jump to that area while you're back to top. So make sure you check your links. Make sure that they're all working. There it is. Back to top. Vermeer, back to top. And they're all working. So that concludes this assignment. And you're all finished. Now what you need to do is save your page, and then send me that index.html and submit it in the assignment area for this particular assignment. So again, if you have any questions or you need any other videos made to show you a specific portion of this video or of this assignment, just let me know. And you could reach me on the Canvas email anytime. Thank you, and have fun with this assignment. Thank you.